In the past couple of months, I have reviewed so many smartwatches, and I honestly haven't come across a perfect Android supported smartwatch. Today, let's go a little out of the way and look at a standalone Android smartwatch. This is the all-new Kospet Vision. While others follow the traditional smartwatch experience, Kospet has been producing smartwatches that can give a standalone experience. Yes, this smartwatch doesn't necessarily need a smartphone companion to work, and it performs almost any task from fitness tracking, making calls to Google Maps, no problem at all. Putting it in simple terms, this smartwatch is just a smaller version of your smartphone. So let's get started. The Kospet Vision is basically a 42mm watch. To be honest, it's not as big as I thought it would be, and it's pretty neat on the wrist. The thickness of the watch gives it a pretty sporty feel, which might not suit everyone's taste, but I kind of like it. It has this black circular metal rim around the display, and rest of the body is mostly made up of a polycarbonate material. This combination kind of gives a premium finish to the smartwatch. Even though it weighs around 86 grams, it still manages to stay light on the wrist. Up front, a noticeable change in design is the front camera, which is an 8-megapixel camera. The idea of placing a front camera is to offer the user the convenience to video chat with anyone from anywhere. In fact, you can even use third-party apps like Google Duo and WhatsApp to make video calls. Now, as for the display, it is an IPS panel, but they have definitely pumped up the brightness a little. I was straight off able to see a lot of improvement in terms of the display when compared to its previous version. It is definitely not the best, but can get the job done. Although an AMOLED display would have been a much better choice. Outdoor viewing is pretty good at the highest brightness. Now the colors are pretty vibrant and surprisingly well balanced. But the touch response is another drawback here. It is not as bad as that of the Amazfit GTR, but yes, there were times I had to press twice to interact with elements on the screen. It's kind of disappointing that Kospet is yet to step up the game with their own watch face. Splendid hardware and great concept, but lacks the taste of user interface. Now, unlike your regular watches, you get to interact with a smartwatch, which means the UI will definitely play a major role in the user's overall experience. So it would have been splendid if Kospet could have just stuck with the stock Android version. Anyways, like every other smartwatch, the Kospet Vision also serves the sole purpose of offering fitness tracking features. The Kospet Vision has a built-in GPS that can be enabled to find your location in real time, and in fact it can display your tracks on a map. You can set sports times, track distance, and even heat consumption before working out. But like I've mentioned on my previous videos, if you're looking to buy a smartwatch with high accuracy of fitness tracking, then you should probably go for the Garmin Forerunner or the Apple Watch. To be honest, any smartwatch under 15K won't offer accurate tracking. There has always been a slight mismatch and fluctuation in data. Now, one of the biggest advantages of this smartwatch is its brilliant specs that lies underneath. The Vision rocks a MediaTek quad-core processor with 3 GB of RAM and 32 GB of internal memory. With that level of specs, you can store and listen to tons of music from local storage by using a Bluetooth earphone. The performance is just consistent, but I would still stick to the fact that the stock Android Wear experience is way smoother and fluid. Again, it might be the influence of animations and some of the software tweaks Wear OS offers. Keeping that aside, the Kospet Vision is still a great performer. Swiping notifications and typing a message was smooth and snappy. By default, the Kospet Vision is shipped with some pre-installed apps like the Play Store, Google Maps, and YouTube. Just like your regular smartphone, the Google Play Store allows you to download any third-party application that you want. Like I already mentioned, this is a standalone watch. It supports 4G LTE, which means you can make voice calls from anywhere. Also, with the help of Bluetooth, you can connect to any wireless earbuds to have a better and smooth call experience. The ability to respond to messages and make calls from anywhere without a smartphone is definitely a pretty cool experience. but it becomes quite difficult to perform voice calls or video chats in a noisy environment. So last but not least, with a 800 mAh lithium-ion battery, the Kospet Vision can take you through a complete day. On testing, the device lasted roughly around 1 day with 4G switched on. To be honest, this would have bothered me on any normal occasion, but considering the specs and the fact that it acts as a miniature smartphone, I was pretty impressed by the battery life. Now, the vision of completely replacing your smartphone might not be far off anymore. Kospet and few other brands have been showing consistent contributions towards building standalone smartwatches. The brilliant build and amazing specs make the Kospet Vision a great standalone smartwatch. It does have its own flaws, but once again, considering the price, this is a pretty good smartwatch. So thank you for watching and make sure you subscribe to Droid Sector.